Well, it's just about noon, and it's early May. I think today is May 11th, and I've already filled one of my turkey tags, so I'm coming out to try to fill my second one. Came out a little south of where I normally hunt to try some new stuff, and got to my spot and didn't know this, but there's a shooting range right next to my spot, so it's making it a little bit interesting. And I've got a pretty steep hill to climb here, and then I'm going to top out on this ridge, and then I can kind of work to the ridge tops and go for miles without losing or gaining a bunch of elevation, and just kind of locate some birds off of those ridge tops. So that's the play for today. I'm coming up this hill and it's really steep, so I'm about to put the gun in the backpack and put the camera away so I can focus on getting up this hill. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll talk to y'all when we're up on that hill. Alright, well, I made it up to the top here. Beautiful looking spot. Definitely think this place will hold turkeys. Probably it'll hold bears as well, so I might spend a little time scouting out some spots for bears. Yeah, it's looking great up here. Just super open, perfect turkey habitat. Textbook turkey habitat. A lot of feed. Haven't seen any turkey sign yet, but I'm sure we'll get into them. So that shooting range is back over my shoulder this way, and I came up this way. But over here, there's a big ridge, and then it kind of loops all the way around. And my plan is to kind of walk this whole top, go all the way around, and then go back to the car. And that's going to be about 6.5 miles. So that should take me, going slow and stopping and listening, that should take me probably 6 hours. And that's about how much time I have till dark. So I'll probably just take it nice and slow, try not to bump anything, and hope that we get on some birds. Alright, well, I got up to the top here. It's really windy, so that's going to definitely affect our hearing a little bit, so hopefully that won't be too much of a problem. I think we may have to just dip down into the basin before we can actually hear anything. As well, we've got a little bit of a storm coming in, which I did not expect. There's definitely a lot of wind, there's definitely a lot of dark clouds, and there's a little bit of rain starting to fall, so I think I'm going to scurry up to this actual top of the peak and then hunker down and get some cover and hope this storm passes quick. But I'm going to keep looking for some animals and try to find some birds. Well, I'm gonna have a little lunch. It's a beautiful spot up here, and I can see quite a ways, and I just called but didn't get anything to respond. It's not super surprising because it is midday, although I did think that they would be a little more active just because we just had that rain come through. But either way, I'm gonna have a little lunch here, and might take a little nap, and then hopefully these birds will start talking sometime this afternoon. Alright, well, I sat here for about an hour and a half. Right at 2 o'clock, which is about 10 minutes ago, I called again and didn't get anything to gobble, so it's about 2:15 right now, so we've still got probably 2 to 3 hours before the birds will really start to talk. So I'm going to move on from this spot, though, even though it's a great listening spot. I think I'm just going to kind of work our way around and glass a little bit, call a little bit, and hopefully we can find some birds. So we'll see how this goes. I was coming around this corner right here. Then right below where I came over, I'm almost to the car. And right here, I bumped Big Tom. He flew up and then went down, and then another one came by, and that one butted and flew up. And so we're about 300 yards from the end of public, so we don't have a lot of room to work with. But they were both nice toms, and they did not have any hens. So if we can get back on these birds without spooking them, we will 100% kill these birds. I just gotta make sure we can get on them without spooking them. I'm gonna loop around, try to set up on them. We're gonna give them about 15-20 minutes before we call, though, to let them calm down. Just easing my way down through here, really trying not to spook them. I'm gonna make a setup on this next little ridge here. just made a setup down here, about 50 to 60 yards from the private boundary, and I'm right at about where I think they probably will end up. That other tom probably ended up maybe 150 to 200 yards from where I am. But those other first two toms should be right around here. What I mean by that third tom is, as I was walking down, I did spook a third tom, so I should have called from right there because I don't think he realized what had happened. But that was my mistake, so I ended up spooking all three, but they were all three big mature toms, no hens, so if I give it a little bit of time, maybe 20-30 minutes here, and then call, and they're willing to play, I think this could happen quick. So it's a good setup here. We're going to stay here for a while. No response, so maybe these birds really got out of here. But I'm gonna give it 30 minutes here and see if they gobble or come in. He's responding good. It's just a little hard to hear where he is. He's definitely down this ridge and he's definitely on private, but the public-private line is about 50 yards in front of me. His gobble is definitely being drowned out by the wind, so it's really difficult to tell where he is. He could be 100 yards, he could be 400 yards, I really have no idea. There he is again. I think he's coming though. So I think we can kill this bird. We're just gonna be patient and I'm not gonna move at all. shouldn't change what I did. But that was close. But these birds are still killable. They're hot. So I'm gonna snake around. I gotta kind of watch the private public edge because we're close. But I think I can get in there and make a better setup and kill them. I'm gonna pause to explain a little bit. So I set up on those birds. We did a good job waiting and not spooking again. Made a good setup, or what I thought was a good setup. Called, they didn't gobble, and then about 10 minutes later they gobbled, and then they were hot and they were coming in. So maybe they gobbled back the first time and I just didn't hear them. But either way, those birds started coming in, and I filmed them come in. They were strutting and gobbling on the way in. They came right in, no hens, worked out perfect. And they got up and then peeked over that hill to where they could see where I was. And what it was is it was just so open there, and they could see there was no hen there. So in their mind, they were impatient, they're hot, they don't want to wait for hens. They just wanted a hen now. So they saw there was no hen there. They're like, okay, I'm gonna leave. So they left and they got out of there. I tried calling them back. They kind of skirted around but never really committed. Now I came over to here. This is right where I first heard them from. They dropped down. And there's either another bird or the same bird gobbling on this next ridge. And I think it's a different bird because I do not think that those birds could move that far that quick. So either way, I guess we're gonna go try to kill this bird, but we gotta just get up onto this ridge. It's gonna be tough, but we're gonna get up there and go make a setup. All right, so I finally figured out what happened. I came all the way over to this other side. Those other two birds I had already called, and I think they completely left. And then this other bird that I heard of this side, he kind of moved down. So when I got back here, he gobbled, and he was gobbling down on the bottom, and I thought it was the other two birds, but really it was just him that he moved down. Whether he heard our other calls and started moving down, I'm not sure. I did get to hear, and I spooked a hen, which is kind of a bummer, and it means that there must have been a hen in the area, although I do think these birds are really breaking up. So this bird is right down in this bottom here. I'm just gonna slip down, get in his level, and try to make a setup here. first for me. I'm just gonna yelp one more time to make sure these other birds aren't wanting to play. Oh man, I really haven't been chasing turkeys much at all in the last week. I've just been slammed with school at the end of the year and then bear hunting on the weekend, so really haven't had a chance to get out. So I decided to come out today to try to fill the second tag, and you all saw what happened, so we're going to keep it pretty short. But essentially, to debrief the last couple changes or events, I called in those two birds over there, which was really awesome. That was awesome. I loved watching those birds come in. I got great video of them strutting in. That was freaking sweet. So that was great. And then they kind of left, and I really didn't think that they would shut up that much. They seemed so excited, but I guess they just must have been already called to, and as soon as they saw there wasn't a decoy, I knew that it was a hunter, and so they got out of there. So I don't know where they went, but they probably are not around here at all. And then another bird started gobbling on this side when I started calling to try to find those other birds, and so made a big loop, came up to this side, got all the way up through this road. Now as I was coming down, I spooked a hen from right up here, and so I thought that obviously that hen must have been with the tom, so I kind of slowed down, and it was a bummer that I spooked her, but at that point I didn't really think that the hens and toms were super tight up together anymore, because the fact that I saw these birds separated. And so I snuck into here, made a couple different setups. I set up one right up there, then I set up one out here. I thought I saw him up there, but it turned out it was just a stump. And then I came to right here, and he kept gobbling right here, about 40 yards. And it was just so thick, I could see there was an impenetrable wall of brush. So I knew he wasn't going to come through. So at that point, I was going to try to just peek over, and if it felt exciting and he was strutting there, I was going to take him. Otherwise, if he was spooked, then I probably would have just not shot him. But I got up here, and as I was about ready to where I would have thought I saw him, I looked, or I didn't look up, but I heard, and he flies out of this tree. And so that really caught me off guard, because I had not spooked this turkey yet. This turkey was not with that hen that I spooked, and I hadn't ran into him at all. And so I had thought that he was on the ground the whole time, but he really wasn't. He was right here, which is crazy to me, because when I was right here, he was watching me the whole time, and I just didn't see him. But when he gobbled, he must have been projecting that way, because I could have swore the gobble was coming from that direction. And so he flew off that way, and so he's gone. I don't know where that other hen went either. So it's right around 5 o'clock, and we got about 3 hours left, but it's been a long day. I'm ready to call it a day, and it's been a fun one. So I'm about an hour drive from home, so I gotta hustle back there and get ready for school tomorrow. But that's gonna be a wrap for this one. I'm gonna make my way back to the car, and we're gonna call it good. But appreciate y'all watching this, and have a great spring. Go kill yourself some bears and some turkeys. See you around.